Right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the vlogs. It's the prep series that started up. We are 15 weeks out. I have just got back from the barbers, as you can tell by the hair, and also hay fever's kicking off. I wiped my eye and I wiped a bit of hair into my eye. Hopefully I'm in shot. I'm trying not to do it front camera, I'm doing it in my back camera because the front camera makes my face look even more distorted than usual. Weighed in at 105.6, which, like I said, we're 15 weeks out. We started the prep at 17 weeks out, so 2 weeks in, around 3 kilos-ish down. Got about 7 kilos down from my heaviest of the off season at 112.5. But I'll be showing you my check-in shots from Friday. This will be the first time you see a double check-in for a while until we start doing double check-ins, because this is obviously I took my check-in yesterday on Friday, but obviously this weekend is the weekend of 15 weeks out. Check-ins for my clients today, and then tomorrow, arm day, first session of being within 15 weeks out. So I want to get my first meal down me because I fasted until about midday today, getting a haircut and doing my pretty much all of my steps fasted now. So I will catch you tomorrow for arms. Right, I just got back from arms. You'll be seeing a couple of clips on the screen. 2 bicep exercises, my cable curls, and then also my away facing cable curls as well. I brought them back in as a final exercise for the bicep portion. So I do things 2 on 2 off. So 2 biceps, which is the preacher, and spider curls, hammer curl spider curls, which are the best hammer curl variation that I've done and found the best value and connection with. Then 2 triceps, which entail single arm calf push down. You can use a rope or whatever. I just feel a calf's better because I can just lean my hand in and just push down. And then a easy bar push down, holding it nice and narrow, not as drastic as like a V bar, but enough to like get my body over it and press down. And then 2 biceps to follow is cable curls and the away facing curls. And then finishing off with overhead calf extensions. And then I brought in, I can't remember the actual name for them, but just a calf above the body like this and just extending my arm like this. It's completely gone from my head. I was stood here rattling my brains for it. And then a pump shot on the screen as well to follow, fresh off of a non-training day. I like having arms after my non-training day. 1, because I'm going into it fresh and it's a body part that I'm focused on, similarly to how I go into my back day after a non-training day as well. But also legs follows it, so it's almost like having 2 rest days on the CNS, because arms is not very fatiguing on the nervous system because there's less compound movements. The closest I'm getting to a compound movement at the moment is the press downs. I was doing dips beforehand, but I've just cycled those out of this rotation of my arms training, so the closest thing I get to is the press downs. Speaking of legs, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We're gonna go for it. I've got some big numbers that I want to hit, a nice little reset in some other areas, and also a new rotation of my legs training that I've set up for this prep to prioritise my hamstrings. So yeah, I will catch you tomorrow just for that. Right, so it's been a while since I've been out here. On the screen you'll be seeing a couple of clips from leg day. It was an insane leg day. I changed up a few things actually. I did both my hamstring exercises 1 and 2, so laying ham curl into seated ham curl, and then I went leg extension, so 3 exercises in, no compounds. Then came the big guns. You'll be seeing them on the screen: hack squat, pendulum squat, squat press, finishing off with a duck, and that is the full session in its entirety. Hack squat, 245 kilos was it, but it was six plates and a 2.5 per side. Took that for a top set there, as you can see. What I'm going to do is change that to a 5 next week, take the low progression. Then we are followed by 125, which was 6 plates and a 5. On the pendulum squat for a set of 11, I'll take that up to 6 and a 10 next week for the 130. I did 130 last week, but I did that as my primary on my first compound of the workout, and also only doing laying curls and extensions before, so doing it as exercise 3 instead of exercise 5 of the workout. And then I took a reset on the squat press where I did 8 plates for my top set, really controlling the change directions, really doing a reset. Again, exercise 6 of the workout, wanting to reset a scope for progression with standardized good form, and meaning that I can just drive this in rather than just keep trying to maintain 10 plates when I just want a full reset in that exercise itself. Changed up a few things with seating. Did a back off set there of 12 reps, close stance with my feet and also lower down the pad so that my heels are actually off of the pad. because I'm using a lighter weight, I can control that. Don't do that with your top set. It's not conducive to anything other than an injury. But with the lighter weight, you can really exaggerate that range of motion and that stretch where the weight's loaded, which I'll take it up another 5 kilos next week and go to 310, which will be 6 plates a side and a 5 each side. Following that will be the pump shots legs, looking full, a little bit beaten up. Really enjoying my leg training at the minute. At the moment, back from that quad injury, which I was telling you about. I don't know if I'd even got that far into the vlogs when it had healed, but it was feeling back to its best now, going all out, pain free, and now I'm like comfortable putting the hat squat back in as my main mover, because it is the bread and butter for me. Pendulum squat, keeping that nice and heavy with no injury or niggles in the quads. I actually got the same sort of thing in my right side, just a temporary one, not a ping. It was just like a little bit of pain, but that subsided. I kept on top of my rehab and mobility by my pre-activation work, everything, keeping myself nimble and in the best possible spot to keep driving these strength progressions, keep maintaining strength when we do get to the point where it inevitably stalls and we get further along into the prep. Of course, when you diet down, leverages change and your oomph, your force and your drive just starts to wane. But the longer you hold out, the better. The longer I can keep progressing, the better as well in my lifts, because that's not only going to preserve all my muscle tissue, but in these beginning weeks where the deficit isn't too bad, then I can just accumulate a little bit of muscle as well. Very, very minimal, more so the retention of muscle and preservation of muscle, which comes from being able to maintain training performance. So that is about that. It's been a hell of a few weeks of dieting, but grind out a couple more days and we've got the next high day, so that's probably where I'll catch you next, and I'll see you for that. Right, hopefully I put my camera a bit higher, it looks a bit better and more in focus and more in shot. My head isn't just like cut off, it looks like I've got a bald head like in the intro. But today's Wednesday, we weighed in 105.2 kilos, so that is, I believe, 0.4 down from Friday. Refeed going in today. There's a post cardio fasted shot on the screen for you to see. I won't take you through the whole round, just the one shot there. I went in fasted and did 15 minutes on the stairs, did a bit of calves, some abs post. Now I'm just getting a 30-minute block in on 25, so the last 5 minutes there on the screen. Also following that, you would have seen Tuesday's stuff. We've got top set with the 42.5s, top set back off there, and then a top set on the upper back pull down, which is a 4x12 pyramid there. That was actually not my top set, that was my second to last set. You saw I went up, I did 13 there, it was easy, so I went up another one. And some pump shots there to see my back shots are looking okay, looking better as I get leaner. Taper's coming in flat from the front, flat from the back, but the taper's looking better. So yeah, that is that. I'm just gonna get these last few minutes done, 4 more minutes to go, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for back day. Right, so I'm in the office doing a little bit of work. Got the group call in half an hour, so it's 6:30. We weighed in at 105.4. Yeah, 105.4 this morning, so up 200 grams, ready for a drop tomorrow on check-in day. Obviously, I'll catch back up with you tomorrow to see what we drop tomorrow on check-in day, as well as my check-in. As I mentioned in the intro, it was double check-in week this week, because obviously I showed you the check-in photos at the start from last week. Back day today, my back is sore, so probably the best back workout I've had in a while. Definitely the sorest I felt after a back workout, maybe even ever. Water session it was. 2 exercises shown on the screen. Set of 85 on the T-bar for 10. That's a +3 this week. Really gave it hell for leather. You can see I'm like coming up as I pull, not to make it easier, but to actually line it more with my hip. Keep my elbow to the hip. Whereas if I stayed leant down, I'd just be driving the elbows up like this. And then my block pull of 210 for 6, I believe, which is 10 kilos up from last week, max reps. Very happy with that. They felt good as well. Overall session was good. I will crop the dead arm, just swapping arms. I'll crop the pump shots if I need to, but yeah, that twisting back double was great. My back's looking better, taper coming in, keeping some thickness in the lats, which I'm hoping stay around, because that's an area that I've been working on to improve my mid back and my lats. So if they stick around, it's a sign of a productive off season and some growth. Definitely an area that I was focused on growing they're considerably leaner. As I pull up for that front lat spread, you can see my abs are nice and clean, fuller and tighter. So that's a sign that tomorrow is going to be a good drop from today. Hopefully enter into the 104s, and that'll be a new like kilo mark milestone knockdown into the 104s. So I'll catch you in just a second. I'm gonna get this work done, jump on the call, running through supplements with the team today, more of an educational than a catch up, and then tomorrow's check-in day, so I'll catch you to see what we drop to. Right, I put myself up there. Hopefully I'm in shot. I will be a little bit jaded on one side because up against one of my shaker bottles, but we weighed in at a new low. We were 104.8. I actually predicted that when I did like a guess with my parents. What do you reckon I'm going to be tomorrow? I guess 104.8, so a 600 gram drop from yesterday and a 400 gram drop obviously from Wednesday. Refeed, drop down, up 0.2, down 0.6. So you'll be seeing on screen a lot tighter through the midsection. I don't know if I said that yesterday, but I felt it when I was a bit fuller after back. I felt that my midsection was a bit tighter and my abs were popping a bit more. Everything was popping a bit more, if I'm honest. And then today was no different. I was able to actually flex my lats in my back double bicep, which you'll see in the check-in photos that follow in the weight. What I did is I kicked my hips back, which obviously is less tension on the glutes, so it gets rid of like the detail there, but I managed to squeeze them again. You'll see once I got into the position with my lats. So I think a cue in for me would be to set up my hamstrings, let my glutes stay semi-flexed, release them for a second as I get my lats engaged, and then flex them again to like get the full shot without leaving my hips pop back like a wellness girl. That's the best my back's looked after the best my back's looked post-workout from back yesterday as well. I'm in the car, I just finished chest. I said today was no different. You'll be seeing on the screen my top set of the flat hammer strength press, 150 today, up 5 kilos and max reps again. Just keep going up. If I keep hitting 10, I keep going up. I want to fall in like a 6 to 8 range maybe before I start like getting my reps back on that press. So we'll see what 155 goes at, and then we'll go through the 4 plates aside. Then I did 2.5 plates per side on the incline Smith for 9. That's up 1 rep from last week. Took an extra 4 reps on my back offset. I feel like now that things are starting to settle in my system, a few refeeds, starting to feel a bit more like myself in the training again, got a bit more oomph, get up and go, and I don't flag on exercise 3. So I had, although the strength was a little bit to be aside, I'm rebuilding that. My endurance on that back offset was there. Took progression pretty much all of my pyramids on the pec deck as well for the first exercise. Gym Leco press, I matched reps and just took a little bit of a load decrease. I did instead of holding the weight for 2 sets, which I'll rejig and rebuild, but that's when my tank started to go, matched and got an extra rep I believe on one of my working sets on the close grip press, and then finished off with the Panata decline chest fly machine, which I'm getting along with very well. I feel like it's definitely working for me. I tested out my elbow as well. This is the first week of the vlog, so ever since I finished my push-up and entered my like health and maintenance phase pre-prep, I started to get a bit of a niggle in my tricep and elbow, which today was I woke up today, I did like put my forearms against the wall and I pressed myself out, and it's the first time that I had no pain doing so. So I tested out a bit of triceps afterwards, some single arm movements, just a cuff pull, push down and a cuff overhead extension, both pain free, just a little bit weaker because my triceps actually getting engaged now that my have been loosened up. I got some tissue work on my arms. My right tricep was considerably tighter, which is a good thing. Although it's not an ideal thing, it's a good thing. It means that it's not actually the elbow that's injured, it's just the elbow was taking more strain on my movements because my tricep was so tight that it wouldn't completely flex or lengthen. So a lot more is being loaded onto the joint in them deeper ranges and the fully extended range on things like the extensions. So fingers crossed, that's a sign of good things to come. Pump shots on the screen, like I said, considerably tighter, good level of fullness I believe. Abs are there now, the front's pretty much in terms of what I want for this stage. Well, I imagine Brad would be happy with that for this stage as well. Definitely looking better now than I was even at like 10 weeks out last year, so that's a sign of things to come. I'll get back to you in next week's video with boss's orders, because he'll get back to me either this evening or first thing on Saturday, because we've got a call with posing workshop with clients that are competing in the next 3 weeks. I've got a guy, Malachi, competing in 3 weeks on Sunday, and then we've got other people competing on the Saturday before that, and also one of Brad's guys, Alex, competing on the Sunday. So that is that. The TLDR, good week, the first week on the vlog. I'm glad to be back, catching back up with myself, making sure to pay some diligence to this, because it's good to look back on in the journey. I had a little look through my last prep ones in my off season, just to re-brace myself of what's to come. Ready to suffer, ready to get absolutely inside out and bring a considerably better and more competitive version of myself this year. So 14th of September, 14 weeks out on Sunday, and I'll catch you all for the 14 week out vlog tomorrow.